Okay, so the next topic is on the basic life processes. So if you notice no the words here, so you might think of a topic no that we discussed in our general zoology. So we have the characteristics of life. Okay, and yes, you are correct. No, so actually, the first six. So you have metabolism, responsiveness, movement, growth, differentiation, and reproduction. So in physiology, they are considered to be the basic life processes. But if you're going to consult other biology or zoology references, no, you have additional, and these additional characteristics, no, they are additional characteristics of living organisms. So these are the characteristics or the processes that distinguish living organisms from non-living organisms. So let's discuss the first, not really discuss, but review, now because you've had this already in your zoo. Okay. So the first basic life process is metabolism. And you all know that metabolism is defined as a sum total of all biochemical processes happening within living systems. And you can still, now if you can still recall, metabolism could be in the form of catabolism and anabolism. Catabolism is the breakdown of larger complex substances into simpler ones, whereas anabolism is the opposite. Now, it's the building up of complex substances from simpler ones naman. Okay? And then another is responsiveness. Okay? So when you say responsiveness, it's the ability of the organism to detect, okay, and respond to particular changes in the internal and the external environment. Okay? For example, if we have an increase in body temperature during a fever, so it represents a change in our internal environment. No, it's the environment within the body. Okay, when we turn our head towards the sound of a squealing break or squealing breaks. No, so it's a response. It's our response to a change in the external environment. It's a response to sound. No, and why do we need to detect these changes? Now, because the body has to prepare itself for a potential threat or for a potential damage so that we can do something about this. No? And different cells in the body also respond to environmental changes. Like, for example, our nerve cells, no, they respond by initiating and generating electrical signals or action potentials, or we simply know them as nerve impulses. Okay, and then again, no, I said earlier that the nerve impulses are very important in the feedback mechanism in returning our state into homeostasis. Okay, another example is muscle cells. They respond by contracting, no, which generates force to do work. Okay, like for example, if the nervous system senses, or if the receptors sense that there is a decrease in body temperature compared to the normal, it's sensed by the brain, and the brain interprets this message as there is a decrease in body temperature. So what it does, it sends signals to the muscles, and the muscles contract. No? So we have an involuntary contraction and that shivering. And shivering causes the production of heat. So we can restore our normal body temperature. Okay. So that's an example. Those are examples of responsiveness. Okay. Now, movement, it actually includes all types of motion of the whole body. Okay, starting from the cellular level until the organismal level. Like for example, within the cell, no, there are a lot of movements. Okay, the ions move, the macromolecules move, okay, the transport vesicles move, the secretory vesicles move, the organelles move, and movement, no, as you've learned that time, is actually a coordinated function of the cytoskeletal elements. No? So you have the microtubules, you have the intermediate filaments, you have the microfilaments, you have different proteins. Now you have kinesins and dyneins. No? So maybe I can share with you a video, okay, just showing you, for you to be able to appreciate the movements within the cell. It's actually produced by Harvard University. It's a molecular representation of the cell, no, um, with all the with all the with all the organelles moving, no, the vesicles moving, the roles of kinesin and dynein. So it's really so amazing, no, as you would say it. Okay. Now at the tissue level, for example, no, movement or motion at the tissue level. For example, right after a meal, the wall of the gallbladder contracts because the wall is made up of smooth muscles. So the wall of the gallbladder contracts in order to release bile, because bile is very important in the digestion of fats. Okay. What about an example of a motion or a movement at an organ level? So you have, for example, the heart, no? So the heart pumps continuously. You've learned that the heart is the most workaholic organ, no? It's the first functional organ during embryonic development. Okay. So for an example of a motion at the system level, like for example, no, you have uh, movement or contraction, okay, generated by muscles, okay, or contraction of muscles to generate force in order to do work, now for us to move our body parts. Okay, so movement is not only limited to locomotion, because when we say locomotion, it's the transfer of an organism from one place to another. Okay, so you don't really equate movement. No, you don't really equate all movement with locomotion naman, no? Because like for example in muscles, diba? So even though the muscles of the neck part and the shoulder part are contracting, but the contraction does not produce any movement at all. No, it maintains the position of the head upright. Okay, and we are going to discuss more of this when we go to the muscular system naman. Okay. Now another characteristic is growth, and you all know that growth is an increase in the body size, no, and this could be the result of an increase in the amount of cytoplasm within cells or an increase in the number of cells or both. Okay. And for example, no, in a bone. Okay, so the bones are able to grow in length and width because there is also deposition of minerals, no? Most especially hydroxyapatite o yung calcium carbonate. Okay, so and we said that no, growth is very very important, especially in, if you can still remember our discussion on cell division, that the daughter cells now would have to grow, diba, during the interphase stage in order to obtain all the necessary materials and chemicals now for it to divide again. Okay, so that there is really an increase in the size of the organism. Okay. Now another is differentiation. So differentiation simply means that a cell, no, or an organism develops, no, from an unspecialized state to a specialized state. Okay, like for example, no, you all are familiar with stem cells, right? No, so stem cells are precursor cells, so they are unspecialized cells. But the stem cells can be stimulated, no, they can be subjected to develop or to differentiate, no, that's the proper term, to differentiate into specialized cell types. Okay, like for example, when we talk of hematopoiesis or blood cell formation, okay, the precursor cells or the stem cells are called hemocytoblasts. Okay, and depending on the stimulation, a hemocytoblast can develop, no, to an erythroblast or to a lymphoblast or to a myeloblast, okay, depending on the stimulation. So later, an erythroblast would now differentiate to become an erythrocyte. A lymphoblast would now differentiate to become a lymphocyte. So that's differentiation. Okay, so there is a change from an unspecialized to a specialized state. Okay, so another is during development. No? Like for example, starting from a zygote, no? A fertilized egg. So the zygote undergoes a series of cleavages and development and differentiate. No? Differentiate to become an embryo, to become a fetus, to become a child, to become an adult. Okay, so that's differentiation. So there is a corresponding specialization. Okay. So another is reproduction, and you're very familiar with reproduction naman, no? So reproduction is the ability of the organism, or that's the basic life process, allowing organisms to make copies of themselves, no? Like at the cellular level, you're familiar with cell division, diba? You have mitosis and meiosis. So the purposes of cell division, one, is to increase the number of cells to replace dead cells, okay, or for tissue growth and repair, or production of a new individual, like in the case of gametogenesis, okay? So, yun, no? And sabi nga, di ba, reproduction is a measure of the fitness of a person, no? If the person is able to reproduce because he or she is able to contribute to the gene pool. Okay. Now, again, based from physiology, so these are the 6 basic life processes. Okay. And it's very true, no? Because if we're going to discuss organization, so this was discussed earlier, diba? So each organism has a certain level of organization from the chemical level, from atom to molecule to cell to tissue to organ system to the organism. Okay. So this can be under differentiation, okay? Or growth, pwede yun, ano? So, digestion, respiration, excretion, so they can be under metabolism. Okay, so adaptation, or the ability of the organism to, again, no, before responding, detect and respond to certain changes in the environment, no, allowing them to live, allowing them to survive. So this is an example of responsiveness. Okay, evolution, no, the ability of the organism to change their genetic material. So again, this is driven by adaptation. This is driven by forces in the internal and the external environment, and this could be again under responsiveness. Okay. So basically, no, they say the same thing, you know. So it's stated now that when any one of the life processes ceases to occur properly, this can result to death, no, of the cells and tissues, which may lead to the death of the organism. Okay, so kailangan all systems go. No? All the 11 systems should work properly, should work harmoniously in order to attain balance or homeostasis, because then again, homeostasis dictates our survival. Okay? And clinically, no? Clinically, okay, we all know that loss of heartbeat, absence of spontaneous breathing, and loss of brain functions, no, indicate, okay, death in the human body. Okay? So if one system is in trouble, if one system is not functioning very well, it affects all other functions of other systems. And that would be detrimental to us, uh, especially the urinary system, no? And the liver, okay? Because they are very, very important in maintaining balance or homeostasis, okay? So this would be for the life processes. So the next topic will be on homeostasis.